Tyrese, you guys cut that a little close, didn't you?
Man, we won. That's all. At the end of the day, no matter if you win by 1 or 20, as long as you win, we'll take it.
Why? How do you think you guys are getting better at it? You know what I mean? There's been so many games that came down to the crunch.
And we won them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Are you just like another day at the office?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Coach KP always says fight and do whatever it takes to win. And I feel like this team did that tonight. I mean, we had to get a couple of crucial stops in a row, and that's what we ended up doing.
With close games like this, what's the biggest takeaway for you that you learned from having games go down to the wire?
A big thing for us today was knowing that we could still win not shooting it well from the three-point line. I mean, I think we only hit 2 shots, and they were all pretty much wide open, good shots. We just couldn't hit today. And knowing that you can still win a game like that, leaning on your defense and just leaning on your post play, Nick Richards and E.J. Montgomery, Nate Sestina were really good inside. That's a big step for us.
You hate that you gave Cal so much ammunition to make you take fewer threes. He seems like he loves it when you have a bad 3-point shooting game because he can come in here and say, "See, we shouldn't shoot threes."
No, I don't think he didn't say that. He was telling us to let it fly. I mean, he knows we got pretty good shooters. You know, Emmanuel Quickley is a really good shooter. I feel like I'm a pretty good shooter, John Juzang. And he says if we're open, knock it down, let it fly. I mean, you don't put in the work for no reason.
Earlier in the season, you guys would lose games where you shot poorly from the three-point line, but today was different.
Right.
Just how much does that show of the team's progression from December to now February?
Coach Cal always says we try to get better progressively closer to March. And like I said earlier, I mean, it was big for us to win a game like that, not being able to hit shots from the three-point line. And like I said, throwing it inside of Nick, guards penetrating, getting to the rack, floaters, and layups. I mean, it was really big for us.
Was that an emphasis at halftime, Tyrese, to get it to Nick? I noticed the first possession of the second half, it seemed like you guys were intent on getting it to Nick in the post.
Yeah, if Nick's open in the post, we're going to try to get to him, as often as possible. He's pretty efficient scoring down there. He's a big presence, 7 foot. I mean, I don't really think anybody can guard him. I mean, he gets to his hooks, gets to his little drop steps. And like I said a couple of days ago, I mean, at Vanderbilt, I'm proud of him. He's starting to grow up, telling us to throw him the ball when he's open, and that's big for us.
Tyrese, Cal said that one of those bad 3-point misses you had in this game a couple weeks ago, if you had one like that, you'd have dropped your head and maybe not gotten back on the other end, that you're playing more to win now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I always played to win, but, I mean, he's right. I missed, and E.J. Montgomery fought, got on the ground and got it. And I saw a lane, I drove it, and made a tough layup. It was a big play for us. But, I mean, that's the ultimate goal, is try to win the game at all times. No matter whatever, you're playing bad, playing good, you just try to do whatever it takes for your team to win.
How much work went into you being the kind of guy who could be in there at the end of the game and make free throw after free throw, put a game away?
Just practice, every day, making 50 free throws after practice, after workouts, before workouts, just finding that rhythm, finding that consistency.
Could you have done that a couple of years ago?
A couple years ago, high school, probably not. In college, because my free throws are getting better and better in college. I'm pretty confident in my free throws right now, though.
The Ole Miss coach says Cal doesn't really get enough credit for player development. You think that's fair?
Yeah, that is true. He's always known for guys. He's always known to push guys to the NBA after their first year. But people don't give him enough credit for guys that that stick around and actually want to improve their game. Not just me. You can see guys like Tyler Ulis. When he came back his second year, he's probably one of the best point guards in the country. Willie Cauley-Stein, he's one of the best forwards in the country his last year. Derek Willis, he was a guy that came through and made a lot of big threes down the stretch for them in his last year. I think he needs more credit for player development.
Nick, sold out crowd tonight. What was it like playing here in front of that crowd tonight at Rupp?
We're pretty used to it. I think it's sold out every time we come here, depending on the team. I'm just happy that they got loud tonight towards the end to help us get this victory.
How much does that help when you guys are in these games like a rock fight? How much does that crowd kind of help you guys when you get in that situation?
Just to know that the whole entire arena is on your side and it's honestly our responsibility just to give the people a show. You know, they come here to see us win and play great basketball, and that's just our responsibility.
What was going through your mind down the stretch when you had those 4 free throws in a row? What was going on?
Just make it. It don't matter what happens, just make it.
What's it say about this team that when everybody kind of has a bad shooting night, you're still able to win these games, especially the poor shooting night from behind 3?
You know, it just shows that we have a will to win. You know, guys that didn't play that great basketball, I didn't play. To me, this is probably the worst basketball game I played all year. But, you know, we still found a way to win.
Is it hard when you're 1 for 10 to keep pulling the trigger? I mean, you never did really slow down.
Yeah. Honestly, when I was missing, I was just telling myself, keep shooting. Eventually, one got to go in. Got to the line. I saw the ball going a little bit. So, you know, that was really big for me. And my teammates and my coaches told me as well, keep shooting. Don't worry about it. It's going to go in.
You said you'd rather win by 30. How come you guys are not putting the crunch on people?
Teams are good. I mean, we want to win by 30 every game, but teams are good. You know, they scout us really well. They know our plays. So, you know, you just got to come out and try to fight, just try to get a win.
With the exception of the last game where he played pretty well, it's been about a month of kind of struggle for Ashton. What do you think's going on with him, and what do you say to him as his backcourt running mate?
He's putting in a lot of work. Like we seen the game before this one, almost had a triple-double. And like I said, we're not machines, we're not robots, but you know he's going to come out and play hard every game. You know he's going to come out and play defense every game. So I would just tell him to keep staying in the gym, keep working hard. What he brings besides his offense is really it's unfathomable. I think what everybody brings, what Nate brings, he may not score a lot, but he always brings hustle. So other things besides offense, just keep working hard and things like that.
What does this team need from Ashton to maximize itself offensively? On the offensive end, what's the best version of him?
Honestly, if he's making shots, it's just a plus because what he brings on offense is really something that a lot of teams in the country don't have. Somebody that can get out in the break, find people, throw lobs, things like that. So what he brings for our offense is really hard to find.
Coach called this a rock fight today. Is that a fair assessment?
Rock fight?
A rock fight?
I don't know what that means.
Kind of an ugly win.
Oh, yeah. Ugly win. We'll take a win, whether it's by 30, it don't matter. We'll just take a win anyway we can get it. So, yeah.
But when shots aren't falling, Emmanuel, is that a good sign for this team to be able to gut out a win?
Yeah, definitely. And you hear it all the time in the tournament, you know, one bad shooting night and your team's out for the season. So for us to be able to, you know, miss shots and still, you know, have defense travel and things like that is really big for us.
What was your mindset? I mean, you struggled so bad in the first half, but really started making plays, especially down the stretch.
Yeah. Through the whole game, even when I was missing, I was just telling myself, keep shooting. You put a lot of work in the gym, so eventually the shots got to start falling, numbers got to start bouncing out. So just told myself, keep shooting and keep your confidence high.